why neurolinguistic programming is so important when it comes to communication with sellers and communication with people who would lend to you. Frame is everything in NLP. NLP is about having a clear state of mind. It's about de-weeding the garden so that the fruit can actually grow. Have you ever gone and you dig out the soil and you put the seeds in the ground and then you let the seeds come up? And if you don't de-weed the garden, you won't end up with any fruit. You won't end up with any vegetables. You have to go out there and actually de-weed the garden so that those weeds don't come up at the same time as your tomato or your pepper plants. Because if they come up together, the weeds will always win. And so you have to be diligent and take those weeds out while the plant is still small. But once the plant gets to a certain size, you could let the weeds go and it's only going to affect the roots a little bit. It'll affect your crop, but it won't stop the plant from growing. Does that make sense? And sometimes some of our minds are so bad, it's not like starting with fresh dirt. It's like starting with a garden of weeds. And you first have to de-weed until the entire garden clear before you can trust putting good seeds into the soil. So sometimes we have to go and remove the bad thoughts, the bad negative thoughts. And this exercise where you get to communicate your 3 reasons why debt is good made you aware of some of that, the weeds in the garden. Removing the weeds, the negative thoughts around debt. Debt is good. It's how we leverage, it's how we get to the next level. You need debt to buy big assets. If you know that you can make $100,000 from investing $25,000 as a down payment, then it makes a lot of sense to go and borrow that $75,000 to make that money. That's just how real estate works. That's how business works. That's how even the stock market and crypto works. If you can borrow and you know it's a great deal, borrow, invest, pull it back, pay off the loan. And if you can cash flow off of the asset, then don't pay off the loan. Keep paying the payments, paying down the loan slowly, and cash flowing and buying more assets with it. That is good as long as you leverage it properly. We've got an event coming up. There is actually 2 events coming up, but the first one is Mission a Million. Masters of Influence. Masters of Influence is all about NLP, hypnosis, and social influence. If you've been saying to yourself, I want more deals, if you've been saying to yourself, I want more people to lend with me, or I want more people to partner with, or I just want more people in my business outside of real estate so I can build a bigger fountain of water that I can go, fountain of money that I can go and invest with, then social influence is going to be extremely important. Getting rid of the words, I'm afraid of social media. I don't like social media. I don't want to do a Facebook Live. I don't, nobody likes my post. Getting rid of that mindset and shifting it over to, write this down, everybody wants to know what I'm doing. Everybody wants to know what I'm up to. Everybody needs the information in my head. Here is my favorite affirmation when somebody says, why do you post all the time? And I say, because the people want me to. The people are wondering what's going on. The people got questions. They're wondering what I'm doing. I just say, I do it. I do it for the people. They want me to post. I genuinely believe that people are waiting for my posts. In my head, I know this. I know it so truly, like so solidly, that if I don't post, somebody's going to text me and say, I haven't seen you in a little while. You okay? Because I've gotten those texts before. If I don't post, the community is concerned that something's happening. And if I'm not posting, they're like, is he still involved? Does he still want to help? Can I still ask him questions? So I have to post. In your mind, understand that it won't happen until it happens. But if you start taking action, suddenly people will be looking forward to seeing what you've got, to knowing more about you, know more about the ideas and the things you're doing. And you build your influence at the beginning. You start when you're nobody. You start when you have nothing. I started by posting my failures. I didn't think they were failures at the time, but I look back at my feed and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I bragged about that. I started posting about my failures, the times I was wasting, all the things I was doing. But as my journey continued, I had people who watched from there and said, man, you've come a long way. They're my best referrals because they saw where I started. Does that make sense? Influence is important. Influence is key. You could have no money have no deal. But if you know how to talk, you could suddenly close deals without any of your own money.